Welcome to the Get Your Game On podcast, hosted by Andrew and Chris.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get Your Game On podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Chris. How's it going, guys?
We've got a great show lined up for you today. We've got a few topics to talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about baseball, MLB baseball, and COVID, and how that's affected them.
Yeah, it's definitely affected Major League Baseball a lot.
We're going to talk about return of the NBA, finishing off their regular season, what's left of it, and then starting out in the playoffs. And of course, NHL Playoff hockey is back. New format this year, of course, because of COVID. They had to accommodate a few more teams, so they've made a qualifying round. But we'll have more on that, more on some of the results actually of that a little bit later on. But first, we wanted to talk about the top of the show. You mentioned MLB and COVID.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame on how much COVID is affecting Major League Baseball right now. You've got the Miami Marlins that have had over 20 cases. The last count I heard, that their games have been postponed. I think it's up to 21 games right now that have been affected.
Yeah, there's been at least 21 games impacted, like postponed or whatnot. There's also been they had just kind of pieced together a series between the Yankees and the Orioles there about a week or so ago because both teams weren't playing because their opponents either had been exposed to COVID or had COVID cases or played against a team with that. And so they just kind of had to make these hodgepodge changes in the schedule. The Cardinals today, 7 players and 6 staff testing positive. We've got the Phillies, unknown number there. They did have a couple of cases that came back that were actually false positives. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's definitely a step.
False positives can happen. And it's that's actually a relief when that comes by. But I mean, they've got so many cases, and just it makes me wonder, how are they going to finish the season? I mean, at what point does it get too much? At what point do they have to pull the plug on it? Because there's got to be something's got to give. I know they've got larger rosters, right?
They have expanded the rosters for this season due to COVID, but it's getting to the point where, something's going to have to happen because as more cases continue to come in, it's potentially going to affect more teams. And
right.
if it starts spreading through the entire league, the league's going to have to make a call.
Right.
I know their commissioner came out and said that they're not canceling the season.
Yep.
They're going to continue to play. They're going to work through this. They're going to get it figured out. But right now, even though it sounds kind of weird to say this, it's not as big of a deal for them yet, but the potential is there for it to become that big deal. I know they're trying everything in their power to prevent that from happening.
Everything short of doing it as a bubble, but that was part of the negotiation with the Players Association too. They actually did want to travel to each other teams' ballparks, and that was the consensus. So that was the agreement that they had, but. No doctor or scientist, but I don't think that's the right call. I guess we will find out, and we'll see if they are able to complete a season. We certainly hope that they can, and we do wish health and safety to all the players, all the staff, coaches, umpires, ball boys, the people that sweep up afterwards. Keep safe to everyone.
Although, on the field, today there was some pretty sad news for a Calgary boy, which Mike Soroka from the Atlanta Braves, phenomenal young pitcher, tore his Achilles tendon today, so he's gone for the year. So
if not a career.
Hopefully not. With the technology that nowadays they're pretty good at getting that straightened out, but I just feel for him. He was their opening day starter, and he's got such a promising career in front of him. And being a local Calgary kid, you want to see him do well, even though he's not playing for a team that I really care about. But hey, Mike, get better. My heart goes out to you, man. That sucks.
Yeah, that does. It's one of those things when you hear it and you just say, "Oh, snap!"
I shouldn't laugh at that, but that's kind of a fun.
It was just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on. This is a sports show, not a
comedy hour.
Not a show about stupid puns when you just smoked some weed.
It's
All right.
legal. It's legal here.
I know. It is legal here, so, but some people aren't.
So we've also, like you mentioned.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you mentioned, we've got the NBA. They've started their basically finishing off the regular season with like a round robin style tournament.
Right, they're finishing off the regular season. I mean, to the extent that they can. It's not exactly this team was going to play this team, and they've had to rework things. There are, of course, 24 teams, not the full complement of the league. So they did have to tweak things a little bit, but playing a few regular season games. And actually, just tonight, we're filming this Monday night, August 3rd. And just tonight, the LA Lakers clinched first seed in the Western Conference Playoffs. So that was just breaking news as of tonight.
Well, congrats to the Lakers. They've had a great year, and they've got a great team led by LeBron James, who is one of the best players to ever play pick up a basketball.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the best, in my opinion, but
he's
that's
not
just,
Michael Jordan, but
no,
his name is going to be in the Hall of Fame there one day, and it's going to be not too long after retirement. I don't know what how many years they have to kind of have in order to be eligible after retirement, but I think he'll be a first ballot for sure.
Definitely, and local, well, closer to home, I guess not local, but our team, we are the North. The Raptors are doing really well. They're sitting second in the East right now.
Oh wow!
They're not. I don't think they're going to catch Milwaukee for first in the East, but still, they played the Lakers the other night, I do believe, and beat the Lakers. So that shows you how good they are.
That's impressive. I mean, if they can't catch Milwaukee, that's okay because the Bucks stop there.
Oh.
Okay.
Mr. Harty ha 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 ha.
But yes, one of the biggest things coming out of the NBA playoffs as well, though, too, NBA players almost universally, I think I saw one player still stand, but almost universally they are kneeling during the national anthem as a sign of peaceful protest against the racial injustice and police brutality and all of that has been plaguing America for decades. It's been going on for decades, for hundreds of years. But people are finally fed up, and they've said enough is enough. Like the Twisted Sister song, we're not going to take it anymore. And good for them, and good for the NBA players for doing that. It is technically against NBA rules.
Yeah, but they've kind of let that rule slide.
Absolutely.
Because, well, for one, they would have a lot of oil. I don't want to use the old phrase of stuff on your face, but they would have
egg on your face.
Egg on your face. That's a good one. Yeah, like they just would have. It would have looked really bad for the NBA.
It would be a bad look. Middle of a pandemic. You've got the finally this huge rise of support. Well of support. Against racism and police brutality and inequality in general. And for them to say, oh, well, you still got to stand for the national anthem if they were to find them or something, it's a bad look, and I'm glad that they avoided it. I'm glad that they are turning, consciously a blind eye towards that. Whether or not it's going to be a rule change, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to watch that going forward, but I think it will. I think they're going to, I know the NFL has already done the same thing, that they said, players will be able to kneel for the anthem, and it's happening. You've even seen it in the NHL, where players have knelt on the ice. Actually, before the qualifying round started, Matt Dumba from the Minnesota Wild, who's actually the head of the diversity committee for the NHL, had a very impactful speech. Just listening to it, you could feel it, the emotion coming from him. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, I strongly suggest look it up on YouTube. You're obviously on YouTube already to watch our show. So once you're done watching our show, trust me, that's worth looking up. It moved me. It was something.
But before you watch that one, before you leave this show, don't forget to hit subscribe. Smash that subscribe button right here. Just pretend it's like, one of those things at the carnival where it's test your strength. Right? You want to hit that bell. You want to win that big teddy bear for your lady or your guy or whatever. So you're just going to smash it and you're going to subscribe. Right? Cool. Thank you. All right. But NHL, like you mentioned, they have also been, some of them have been kneeling, and some of them have been even, how the teams will normally line up each team, one team's going to be on their blue line, the other one's going to be on their respective blue line. Well, some have been alternating. I know that it was Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, I believe.
Yeah, Philly and Pittsburgh
had done that. There were teams that were also kind of lining up around the circle, like the circle at center ice there.
Yeah, they're lining around the circle for the anthem, and either taking a knee or some people were holding their fist up. And it's really cool to see the solidarity in the league.
Yes,
That-
absolutely.
The league itself too, like while you're watching the game, you will see up on the big screens that they've got in there, in the background and stuff, you'll see, it'll say like Black Lives Matters, the NHL supports this, and
Yeah, end racism was one I saw.
and
there.
racism, another one I saw.
Who can argue with that?
No. Well,
Right.
if you are arguing with it, people may not like my statement, but you're an idiot if you're arguing with it.
Absolutely, 100%
Because
agree.
racism needs to end. We don't need to have any room for that in our society.
Absolutely. But of course, after the national anthems, they get to the business of playing hockey.
Hockey's back.
Hockey's back. It's back, baby. And there have been some upsets.
Yeah, there's been some great games. I've tried to watch as much as I can. There's been like 12 hours of hockey on pretty much every
single day
for the last
yeah.
couple days, which for a starved sports fan, that's great. Like that you saw Chicago came out in game 1 against Edmonton, and for the majority of that game, they just smacked the Oilers.
Dominated. They were up 6-2 at one point. Ended up winning the game 6-4. Edmonton came back with a couple goals, but it was too little, too late. That was a big upset. Edmonton was supposed to dispatch the Hawks and, if not sweep them in 3, maybe 4, maybe spot them 1. But man, that was a surprise. Edmonton, of course, did play again today,
and they ended up winning tonight 6-3. So that series is tied up at 1. So they got a series going on.
Yeah, it's now a best of 3 because the qualifiers are a best of 5. So when they split it, they're at a best of 3. We've got also the Columbus Blue Jackets beating the Toronto Maple Leafs.
They shut out the Leafs.
Shut out the Leafs.
Like, I was very surprised on that. Toronto's got some great firepower.
They do.
And
they do.
We'll have to see.
They're not going to win the Stanley Cup ever again. Mark my words.
It's on video.
Mark my words. But yeah, no. I mean, they've got Austin Matthews. They've got
Mitch Marner.
Mitch Marner. They do have some great players on the team there, and they were expected to take care of Columbus in pretty short order as well. But Columbus, they played a solid game and they came out on top. It's a best of 5, first 1 to 3 wins, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens for the rest of that series.
Yeah, we'll see how Toronto can bounce back. The only series so far that's kind of been one-sided a little bit is you've got the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Rangers. Carolina has taken the first 2 games in that series, and they look pretty much in control, in my opinion.
It's leaving the Rangers on the ropes. I mean, especially, if it's a best of 7, you're down 2 games, you can kind of regroup and, maybe pop off a couple of quick wins. Now you're even. When it's a best of 5, you have to win every single game. You'll drop the first 2. Now you must win every single game. And that's...
it's a win or go home.
It's a win or go home. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, either you accept that rose from The Bachelor, or there's not one left for you. I don't know. That was a stupid analogy. So now, people know I watch The Bachelor.
That's okay.
That's all right. It's a guilty pleasure.
It's just also talking about upsets. Like Sunday, we had the Coyotes beating the Predators 4-3. I didn't see that happening. I thought the Predators were going to handle Phoenix quite.
And Phoenix was up 4-1 in that game.
Yeah, they were. The Predators clawed back.
Nice. The Predators clawed back.
Yeah. See, I'm getting the puns in now too. So that one could be interesting, seeing how Game 2 progresses, because obviously teams make adjustments, and maybe the Predators will continue the momentum that they had.
Right.
But who knows? It's hockey. That's the beautiful thing. You play the game to win, no matter who it is. The one, though, that actually I totally forgot about just till we were talking about it here tonight is the Minnesota Wild against the Vancouver Canucks. 3-0 shutout.
Yes.
I did not see that coming a mile away.
I mean, and you said last week's episode, or it wasn't even a week ago, I believe, that Vancouver was going to sweep them.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a sweep, so obviously I was wrong. I had the 3-0,
You
I
were
just didn't know
asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, I had the 3-0 there, but I didn't know that was just going to be the score for Minnesota in the game one.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. Vancouver, of course, is known to choke in the playoffs.
And as a Flames fan, I'm okay with that.
absolutely. You know, if it was Minnesota, I couldn't care one way or another, flip a coin. But if they're playing against Vancouver, yeah, I want to see them lose. When it comes to sports, my team, you know, I can be as petty and vindictive as the next fan.
Hey, you got to cheer for your team. But, you know, speaking of our team, Andrew, the Calgary Flames have played their first 2 games of the series. Saturday night, they came out and dominated Winnipeg. They looked really strong. It was a great performance by the team. Took game 1 with a score of 4-1, and then, you know, this afternoon kind of was a heartbreaker.
It was. You know, they came out, and I don't know if they'd been visiting Dr. Huxtable, you know, Bill Cosby, and he slipped them some Quaaludes or something, but they seemed to sleep on the ice there. At least for the, you know, a good part of for the first period and a good part of the second. They did pull even in the second. They were down 2-0, and it ended up, you know, they tied it up at 2-2. They fell short, though. They had a power play goal against them. I believe it was on the power play.
Yeah, Winnipeg scored the game winner on the power play, and that's one thing that I got to bring up is the Flames, and they got to stop taking these stupid penalties.
Yeah.
It's killing them.
It is.
Like, you can't take 6 or 7 penalties a game and expect to win.
There was even a 2-man advantage, which they actually killed off, but, I mean, a 2-man advantage against you in the playoffs, that's just undisciplined, and that is not behavior that wins games. It's not behavior that wins championships. And we want to bring a cup home to Calgary here from Edmonton. Imagine winning that on Edmonton ice.
Oh.
Be like the Grey Cup
in 2018.
2018 when the Calgary Stampeders won the Grey Cup in Edmonton. Both of us were at that game.
That was a great night.
Amazing experience. But I digress. Back to hockey there. It's all tied up. It's a best of 3 now. What's your prediction? I had gone with 5 games for Calgary. What do you think?
I thought it was 5 for Calgary, and it still could go 5 games. A lot of it depends. One, do the Flames wake up?
Yeah, absolutely.
If they play Tuesday, and hopefully I can get this all edited and up prior to the puck drop. But you know, we'll see.
Yeah, they do play as of now. It would be tomorrow, Tuesday, August 4th. Was it 3:30 p.m.?
It's like 3:30 or 4:30. It's a mid-afternoon game.
Yeah, 4:30.
It's 4:30. That's right. 4:30 puck drop. So I think Calgary can take it now. Depending on Winnipeg, if that injury to Scheifele, which looked really bad, although they're saying it may not be as bad as it looked, but it's playoffs. You know, you lie about injuries all the time. So we'll see on that one. And Patrick Laine as well being out for Winnipeg. Like
to lose those 2 in the first game, that was I was thinking at the end of that game, especially with how strong Calgary played, particularly when they came on the second period. First period they were a little lackadaisical, but second period, third period, just really pure domination by Calgary during that time frame. And I thought at that point, if they keep playing this way, they could sweep it. Of course, not the case because they lost.
They lost today, so it's definitely going to at least go 4.
It's going to go at least 4, but I think it's still going to be 5. I'm still picking Flames in 5.
Well, I've still got faith in the Flames. I still think the Flames are going to pull it out in 5, but they got to wake up. If they play on Tuesday like they did on Monday, it's not going to go well.
No, not at all. They need to wake up. You know, chug a Red Bull or something, and just get out there and play hockey. Do what you're paid millions of dollars to do because you're good at it. You're really good at it. Johnny Gaudreau, play good hockey.
Yeah, we need Johnny Gaudreau, Sean Monahan to show up.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny got a goal in game 1, which was great.
Yeah.
But he did not look.
He didn't look like he was even happy to be there.
Yeah, he was just really off today. And like Sean Monahan, where is he? I haven't seen him hardly at all.
Yeah. He's almost like a ghost. It's playoff time. That's especially when we need our superstars to really step up. Obviously, everybody's got to step up their game, and in the playoffs, you expect them to. But for our big name guys, our big money guys, our big scoring guys, we need that production in the playoffs more than anything. You know, you could go through the entire regular season, win every single game, and then you get swept in the playoffs. What was your season? A failure.
Well, look at last season. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. Won the first game of the playoffs and gets swept in the next 4. Hopefully we don't see a repeat, but we're going to see it. Like Chris said, hopefully the episode will be up by that point. I think that's all we've got for today's episode. Trying to keep them a little bit more shorter and sweeter than the half-hour one that we had there. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for that. If you haven't subscribed, please smash that subscribe button. Chris, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Just stay safe out there and keep doing what you got to do to stay healthy and get through this pandemic.
Absolutely. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And don't forget to get your
your
game
game
on.
on.